Hey guys, it's Ruth with bodybyruth.com, the place to be where you're going to fall in love with the body and the life that you live. Now, if you're like most people, you probably made some intentions for the new year to get healthy and to lose weight. Maybe you gained that average 8 to 10 pound weight gain and your favorite pants aren't just feeling so good. Maybe you feel a little muffin top hanging over your favorite jeans and you're just not feeling your best. Well, today I'm going to share with you 10 tips that you can incorporate right now that are going to help get rid of belly fat for good. Sound good? Let's dig in. All right, so tip number 1 is to eat more fat-burning foods. Every time you eat, you should be eating fiber, protein, and healthy fat. Fiber is a carbohydrate that doesn't convert to sugar when it's digested and has a really important function for your body. Fiber is going to naturally cleanse and detoxify your colon. So I want you to consume things like chia seeds and flax seeds and fruit and vegetables, and that is going to naturally detoxify your body. Protein is a necessary ingredient because it's going to help us build lean muscle, and muscle is going to help us burn more calories while at rest. And healthy fat, well, that just helps us burn fat. So many people are afraid of consuming fat because they think it's going to make them fat, where you really need that healthy fat to teach your body to burn fat. Let me ask you a question. Are you hungry every 2 or 3 hours? If you answered yes to that, most likely you're probably a sugar burner. And a sugar burner is using sugar for fuel. You're eating a lot of food that has carbohydrates and it's digesting very quickly. Whereas if you are eating healthy fat, things like avocado and seeds and nuts and olive oil, those things digest slowly, they keep you satiated, and they're gonna help your body burn fat. So it's really important that you incorporate fiber, protein, and healthy fat in your diet every time you eat. Now, tip number 2 is to avoid sugar and processed grains. I think you probably know that. Now, sugar is the worst thing you can consume if you're trying to maintain a nice waistline, but it's just also responsible for a slew of diseases, cancer being one of them. If you're looking for a sweetener, look for natural sources of sweetener that aren't processed. Things like honey and pure maple syrup and coconut sugar, some agave or some stevia. There's so many great recipes out there that I use with those ingredients, and I never miss a beat with the refined sugar. Plus, I'm doing my body good by not putting that poison into my body. In terms of the grains, if you need grains for carbs and for energy, look for things like brown rice and quinoa and oats and barley and spelt. Avoid processed grains like crackers and a lot of cereals. You want to avoid a lot of wheat breads. So look what you're consuming, and if it doesn't make you feel good, then don't eat it. Which brings me to tip number 3, and that is to practice mindful eating. So what that means is when you are thinking you're hungry, ask yourself, am I really hungry? Or am I eating because it's just a habit? I'm sitting down on the couch to watch my favorite TV show and I'm just used to grabbing a bag of chips or eating a bowl of cereal. Most likely you really aren't hungry, you're just doing it out of habit. And if you are hungry, ask yourself, what kinds of food do I need to eat to allow me to feel my best or to allow me to perform my best? If you are an athlete, you need to fuel your body with food that's going to serve you with endurance and that's going to give you power and that's going to build lean muscle. Maybe you have some sensitivity to gluten or to dairy. Well, if you have sensitivities to those foods, then you need to be mindful about what foods are causing you to have inflammation in your gut. If you're having inflammation, then don't eat it. So it's as simple as that. Just being mindful and asking yourself, what do I need to eat to be my very best, whether it's as an athlete or just as a mom or whatever. Ask yourself that and then be mindful about what you're putting into your body. Okay, tip number 4 is intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting has been around for a long time, and it hasn't been until maybe the last year and a half that I started to incorporate it myself. And basically what you're doing is you're eating during a fed window and you're fasting the remaining period of time. So for me, I start my day eating my very first meal around 11 in the morning, and I finish eating around 6, and then I don't eat again until 11 the next day. And what that does is it gives your body a chance to repair itself, to recover, and the best part is it helps promote human growth hormone. And human growth hormone is what builds lean muscle. It's what helps you stay young. So if you are wanting to lose belly fat and you are fasting from 7 to 11 in the morning, then you're giving your body a chance to repair itself and for all those organs to reboot themselves without spending time digesting food. All right, tip number 5 is to incorporate HIIT or burst training. Now, I love HIIT workouts because they're short, they're fast, they don't take a whole lot of time, but they're super effective. And when I say HIIT, what that means is basically you're going all out super hard for about 30 seconds, and then you're recovering for an equal amount of time. So if I'm at the track, I might sprint for 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna walk for 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna sprint for 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna walk. Or maybe you're in the pool and you're pushing hard for 30 and you're recovering for 30. Or you're on a bike and you're pushing for 30 and you're recovering for 30. By incorporating HIIT, you're teaching your body to burn fat and use it effectively. If you think about a sprinter's body is super chiseled. They have 6 packs. An endurance runner, not so much. They're thin. They don't necessarily have that 6-pack. They, in fact, carry a little extra around their midsection. And so if you teach your body to train like a sprinter, you're going to notice a nice chiseled physique. So incorporate that HIIT or burst training about 3 times a week. All right, tip number 6 is to practice and incorporate some carb cycling. So carb cycling is another eating method. It's a lifestyle that I have incorporated, and I absolutely love it because it is tricking my body to be a fat burner. As an athlete, I need my carbs, I need that fuel, but I don't need them every single day. And what this is doing is it's giving me carbs that my body uses for energy, but then when those carbs are depleted, what does my body have? But stored body fat. And so I will do a high carb day followed by 2 low carb days, then a high carb day, then 2 low carb days. So I'm kind of piggybacking high carb with 2 low carbs. And it's a great way as a lifestyle because you're never depriving yourself. High carb days, I have built-in cheat days, so I'm able to have things that I love. If I want to have a piece of pizza or something like that, or a glass of wine, I'm not depriving myself. It's built in. And it really does help your body burn belly fat. So try that carb cycling. It's a really great technique, and it's especially great for women in their 40s and older. All right, tip number 7 is to reduce stress. So stress is one of those things that I know we can't always control our life and what's happening around us, but if you can reduce stress, you're going to reduce the hormones that are creating your body to hold on to belly fat. So the first thing I would suggest that you do is write down those things that are causing you a lot of stress. If it's something at your job, or maybe you're overwhelmed with chores at your house, are there things that you can outsource so that you don't have to deal with those things that cause you stress? And if you can't, if it's not financially feasible, then focus on what you can control. And one of the best things that you can do to focus on what you can control is to focus on gratitude. So gratitude is one of the easiest things that you can do to de-stress because you cannot be grateful and stressed at the same time. When you focus on things that you're grateful for, and I'm talking about little things that bring you joy, whether it's your morning cup of coffee, or the bird that's chirping outside your window, or maybe something that you're experiencing with your senses outside, that's fantastic. And one of my favorite ways to de-stress is to get out in nature. Go to the park, Take your dog for a walk. Enjoy the scents, the sights, the smells. Experience your senses while you're out in nature. Maybe you hear water in the background, or you're just hearing birds and you hear the rustling of leaves. It's such a great way to de-stress. So as much as possible, get out in nature, take your dog for a walk, write down things that you're grateful for. And the last thing that will help you de-stress is I want you to do things that bring you joy. What is it in your life that you need more of, that make you smile, that make you happy? For me, I love a date night with my husband. I love a girls' night. So if those things are going to bring me joy, then I'm going to schedule those in because I want to do things like that. They're going to help me de-stress. Oh, and one more thing. If you are practicing things like Pilates and yoga that are just helping you connect your mind and your body, that is another fantastic way to help you de-stress. So get in nature, write down the things that are causing you stress and see what you can do to eliminate them. Practice gratitude, and then do more of what brings you joy. Tip number 9 is to work out on an empty stomach. That means if you can, work out in the morning, first thing, without eating. And what your body's gonna do is, since there's no breakfast in there, it's gonna turn to stored fat for fuel. So not only is that HIIT workout going to boost metabolism, but it's gonna help your body become a fat burner. And the last tip, tip number 10, in addition to HIIT, in addition to working out first thing in the morning and on an empty stomach, I want you to incorporate weight training, because weight training and doing exercises that work your largest muscle groups are going to help build lean muscle. So think of things like squats and lunges and working those large muscle groups. When you're burning those calories and building lean muscle, you're going to be burning that belly fat. And even better, incorporate upper and lower moves together. So upper body while you're doing a lunge, or a fly while you're doing a squat, working the back and the legs and the core. That put together, man, that's a great recipe for burning calories and for banishing that belly fat for good. All right, so there you go. 10 tips that you can apply right now. If you do 1 or 2, awesome. If you do 4 or 5, even better. If you could do all of them, you're gonna watch your waistline totally trim down, and not only you're gonna look amazing, but you're gonna feel amazing. Here's to helping you love the body and the life that you live. If you like this video, please like it and share it with a friend so that they can learn to love the body that they live into. Have a great one, guys.